Pop on in here real quick. I'm going to over here. So much crap in here. Yeah. This will be a way that I can all right, and I should be live here. Everything is looking good. All right, so we have chat open right now. Add up just a tad here. All right. And the one watching is probably me, but all right. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and go in here. Alrighty, so this is more or less meant to be a bit of a live stream here, and rather than record something and have to wait and upload it later and do a bunch of editing, I know I'm behind quite a bit. Finals have been absolutely demolishing me, and I have my last final on Monday, so it is coming up, and unfortunately, that's taking too much of my time. But I did want to give you guys a bit of an update to what I have been working on for, oh hell, I don't know, a few months, I think, very least. Of course, if you have any questions and you're here during live stream, I'm going to mention this a few times as people pop in and out. Feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'll try to answer. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek as to what I have set up for my Raspberry Pi desktop tower. Now this is a complete liquid cooling solution. This is, to my knowledge, has never been done. At least not this way. This is such a big, well, it's not a big setup physically. It fits on a 300 by 300 millimeter build plate. That's the entire case. And it's just about edge to edge. It's pretty close. So, you know you want to get right into it. Of course you do. So let's have a look here. This is what I have to work with so far. You can ignore this guy out here. I'm just using him. So, what I've got is, and I have the parts physically, I have them right here in front of me and everything. That's how I've got these measurements. So this currently uses a Raspberry Pi 3 Model B Plus. The footprint is the same as, say, an Asus Tinkerboard, and a couple others. Latte Panda won't fit. It's a different layout style also. But I am going to start off with the Model 3B Plus that I do have. This is currently running Octopi, so I can monitor my prints remotely. I will set this up to have some other functions. I actually have RetroPie on another micro SD card. And for those of you that may or may not remember, last year my cousin got me Super NES controllers. Well, they're USB controllers to hook up to your computer to be able to play old SNES games and whatever. I really want to get this to be able to do that as well as be a remote desktop system for printers. I thought that'd be really cool. I can hook up a monitor to it, HDMI out, the whole, all that is shebang, I guess. So all of that, yes. So we're going to start off with looking at basically how I have stuff laid out. So on the bottom here, oh, and the front of the case is here. This would be the front that you're looking at. He's a nothing. Ignore him. So this is like a standard desktop tower where if you're facing the front, the window is on the left. This part here is the push-pull radiator and fan combination. That's this guy. Now, despite what it looks like, you may not be able to see this very well in the video. These fan blades do not actually light up. In fact, they're not even the right material to be UV reactive, and they really don't glow all that bright from a distance with LEDs. I was hoping they might. What I'm thinking about doing is creating a sandwich between the face of the radiator and the back of the fan, just the width of a set of LEDs, so a little over a 1/4 inch, and run an LED strip around it just on this one, which would be the pull fan, and be able to light this up from the inside. A little extra wiring, I'd always stick it out the back, it's not a big deal. But I think it'd be something that would be pretty interesting to add to that it wasn't originally designed for. Oh, now it's not. Figures. Okay, so out the back, and you'll notice this thing that looks like a Beats icon that's just been rotated twice or 3 times. That is actually specifically designed to cover, you notice on the back of this fan, the 3 arms that are here, and also covers the wires that are here so you don't see those out the back. And that also means that there's better airflow because there's less material to impede it. So I want as much throughput as possible, and of course as little material as possible. That's how that's going to work. Take a look at, actually I'm going to hide him now. So this bottom piece here is not completely finished. I have not fully designed what I'm going to do, but the reason for this odd bump is because, let me get it out here. Rip the hell out of that, didn't I? My bags suck. There we go. Okay, is this little guy here. Now this is the original plug with a, comes with a switch and a removable fuse. This was originally designed to go on the ANET A8. It was to go on the bottom to allow it to have a switchable power supply rather than relying on constantly plugging and unplugging cord from the wall, which could be a pain just depending on how you set it up. I ended up not going with that. The switch on my wall actually controls that outlet, which I really need to fix, and let me explain why. So I was in the middle of streaming Fallout 76 yesterday, and I had a set of, I had some more switch mods printing, and it was maybe 60 or 70% of the way done with a batch of 8, and I had headphones on, you know, I couldn't hear, and I didn't see her open the door when she got home, so she flicks the switch on and off to turn the lights on and off, turns off the printer in the middle of my print. Well, yeah, that sucks. So I definitely need to find a better place to put that, or I need to rewire the outlet or something. I don't know, but screw it. But anyway, little side story. I'm getting sidetracked. Seems we have a couple other people watching now. How's everybody doing? Again, if you want to ask me any questions, get a comment or anything. I've got my other computer up and running here, so I can chat with you guys there as well. So yes, this is going to go back here. I'm just going to pull out a random block here and make it. So something like this. It's going to go right about back here, roughly. And you'll notice that the height had to have a little extra room to fit these bolts in. Which, I mean, I could raise this entire floor up, but I'm trying to keep the height as low as possible because remember, I'm already within about 1/2 an inch of being outside of the build area on my large printer. So I don't have a whole lot of room to work with. So I might do something with this, create a trough up the back side here. Maybe, it might be somewhere in the middle. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. To, at the very least, run the audio cabling, the audio jack, which is going to be for sound, and the power for micro USB, which is going to be custom wired. And everything down here is going to have a slide-in tray. And that tray is going to hold 2 circuit boards. And that's what I have in these other tabs right here. So the the fans for the radiator here are 12-volt fans. And the pump for the reservoir, stupid brain farts. Pump for the reservoir is also 12 volts. So the pump, the 2 fans, and a series of LEDs, which are going to run all the way around the outside of the case door facing in, which are going to be UV. And I'll explain why here in a minute. Those are 12 volt, and I wanted those all on a separate supply. Now the Raspberry Pi itself is on a 5 volt, technically 5.1, whatever. It says a nominal 5.1, let's call it 5 volt to 2.5 amp. I decided to supply it with a 5 volt 3 amp board, which is directly connected to the back of my plug, which is going to hook into AC. So I needed an AC to DC converter. Let's start off with the 5 volt. Yep. So 5 volt 3 amp. This board will specifically be dedicated to the Pi. It will not run anything else. It'll be consistent. It'll isolate the Pi from everything else, which means I can also turn the Pi on and off separately. So I can turn off the Pi, I can leave the Pi running and turn on and off the pump or the fans. All that stuff can be done individually. Not too bad. It was pretty cheap, actually. $7.80. Now, one downside, it is coming from Hong Kong, China, Taiwan, Speed Pack, which they don't give tracking numbers, so good luck with that. Yeah, so at the very worst, supposedly, January 2nd, I was hoping to have all this done before Christmas. That was the idea. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now, as far as the 12-volt power supply, pretty much the same thing. It doesn't have screw-in terminals like this one does, but it does have wires, which you can get off of just about any set of electronics. These are very common. I probably won't need any extra, but because I'm going to have everything wired into a 3D printed tray that is specifically going to be designed to slide underneath everything. And everything's going to be disconnectable. I want everything in here to be able to be replaced or repaired or swapped out without having to do a whole bunch of maintenance. So if I needed to replace, say, this board because the power supply died, I'd simply unplug the back connector, the front connector, put on the new board, plug in the 2 connectors, and walk away. It would be that easy. I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of extra wiring if I don't have to. And this one was $5.90. Yes, again, China, Hong Kong, Taiwan. You know what I mean? I've ordered stuff from there before. It's a pain. But all right, coming back into here. Let's see. This clip for the bottom of the fan set here is pretty specific in its design. I want it to be able to come up all the way to the bottom of the main radiator housing. So this bottom foot here, I want to have that sit completely in. This isn't going to be screwed in. Nothing is going to have, I don't want screws like coming through the side of PLA housing or a print or something and then screwing and marring into the finish. I want this to be able to set in with pressure, stay there. Remember, this isn't going to be picked up. It's not a laptop. You're not going to pick it up, run away with it. Everything is going to really just sit there by gravity. And I also want things to be easily replaceable or removable in case you start to see a leak. Liquid cooling, that's the way leaks go. It happens. So in order to get to it quickly without trying to take the whole thing and just dump it over and then risk breaking something, I want stuff to be easily removable. I put a lot of thought into this. Let me put this switch away real quick. Get this out of my way here. It's really coming down now. All right. So as far as this is, it goes up high enough to prevent this thing from going back and forth more than necessary. I basically want to be able to, once you set it in, kind of locks in place. So the height, I want it to be as tall as possible. These have a 1 millimeter clearance all the way around each of the hose barb fittings here. So 1 millimeter on each side. So 1 meter all the way around. Hopefully that'll be enough. I wanted to keep as much material here as possible. The walls are 4 millimeters thick. Designed specifically so that they can be, in case it's tight or maybe a little too tight, even if you press it in, it can expand a little bit, but it won't just snap because it's so thin and brittle. That was the intent. And these little nipples here on the inside here, I have a 0.5 millimeter tolerance in all directions, in both left and right and front to back. So it is a little bit loose to sit in because of the tolerance for the printer, but I wanted these little tabs to be in there so that once it gets down to a point, it becomes a little stiffer and actually kind of holds in. That'll also help prevent vibration and various other unwanted noises. Okay. Yeah, I'll leave that. All right. This guy is the reservoir here. Now, there are a couple ways to do this. Man, excuse me. I thought long and hard about this, and being as this thing is completely clear, I wanted to be able to see as much of the fluid as possible. But I didn't want to have it look stupid or see threads, which as you fill it up, and you probably can't see it in here, but through this back inlet here, once you fill that with liquid, which I have, it's not clear, it's actually green, then you start seeing all the weird threads and it doesn't quite look clean and polished. So I want it to come up to this point and only show the upper part of the reservoir that's completely sheened out and doesn't have any odd parts to it. So yeah, it's stupid tall. It doesn't have to be that big, but I'm not really worried about it. Rodrigo, hey man, I haven't seen you in a while. Of course, I haven't been on here in a while either. Sorry about that. And Swedish Assassin, how are you doing, my man? By the way, I'll take a quick second and say that, well, I'll give a couple things out here. Yes, by the way, Swedish Assassin over here has, in fact, well, I guess you go this way, because cat's over there, has got a YouTube channel, and he's actually doing pretty good. I'd go check him out. He's been very helpful. been a great guy to help me out on Fallout 76. He's got a Discord channel and everything. Been a great friend. Again, I'm helping him out. If you want to subscribe, go check his stuff out as well. It's more of the gaming style stuff, but still, go ahead and check him out. Rodrigo, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? Again, if you have any questions for me, maybe an update that you might have missed, go ahead and let me know. And Swedish Assassin, yes, I will be streaming Fallout 76 as soon as I'm done with this live stream here. I want to get something back up on this channel, let people know I'm not dead. I know it's been a few weeks and I feel kind of bad for that, but and while I'm at it, I want to give a shout out to Channel5 Gaming. They've been an absolutely awesome group of people to play Fallout 76 with. Go check out their channel as well. It's in the description. Swedish Assassin, by the way, I will add you to the description here in a little bit. I gotta make a new one. My bad, sister. Delete. What? Delete your video? That sucks. All right. So we'll get back to this real quick, so I'm not getting too far off topic here. And hopefully this sounds better because I got a new microphone. I guess I can maybe show you. No, maybe not. Yeah, I have a Yeti mic, by the way, a Yeti Blue. And I've got a really stupid kind of setup here, but it should sound much, much better. Rodrigo, you don't know what I'm doing? Well, oh, that's right, you got a little bit late. This is, let me show you a zoom out here and show everything. I can delete that. I'll hide this. This is a complete Raspberry Pi water-cooled desktop tower. Like a desktop tower for a PC, but this houses a Raspberry Pi with a full liquid cooling setup. Nothing like this has been done. There have been smaller scale things that just kind of like lay on the desk, flop around, you know, it's nothing to go, oh my God, you know, it's not anything like that. This is the first of its kind, I guarantee. And I am absolutely stoked to get this thing. I don't know if I can edit the description right this second. In fact, I'm going to try here. So guys, just give me half a second. Let me add him in because he really has been a great help to me. Okay, we'll be here in a second here. Okay. Okay. So you should be added in now. Thanks so much, man. Oh, by the way, I wanted to mention, damn, snow's really coming down. Some clean words on this channel. Major brain fart there. Oh, on Twitch, I just passed into affiliate status. Now, I believe I still have 30 days of keeping above 3 average viewers. So if you guys want to check out my Twitch channel, even if you just want to lurk, you don't have to chat or anything, just open a window and let it play. Give me some views. That'll keep me in affiliate status. I can earn money that way as well. It's taken quite a while to get there, but I am so grateful to everyone who has helped out. I'm not sure if some of you are, I know some of you are here from YouTube, but I'm not really sure who all it is because people have different screen names and all. But thank you, everybody. That's been a great help. All right, let's pop on back to this real quick. Out of the way. Okay, so the reservoir here is held in by this little clip, and it's the same style as the one on this side, where it just drops in, it's held in by pressure. This one, I'm not all too worried about vibrating, because the fans on this one are bad, so I didn't add those little nipples in here. This guy is, let me remove the back here. So he drops in. This round one is for the exit down here on the front, and on the back, which could be another inlet, depending on how you set this up. This can be an inlet and have an outlet here, or you can have an inlet up here and the outlet down here, which is how I'm going to have mine set. This is just a cutout rather than being round. I guess I could make it round. Got it. For the little tab here in the back for the plug, and this hole is where the wiring is going to go through, and then from there through another hidden hole straight down into this bottom cavity where the rest of the wiring is going to end up. I should have more than enough length to work with, so I can actually pull the tray out, wire it up, slide it back in. Leave those two out. Hang it. Okay. These guys are, hold on a second. I keep forgetting that there's chat over here. I do this on Twitch too. I am so sorry. Wow, we got 9 people watching. Good to see everybody here. It does sound better. Yeah, this mic is 1,000,000 times better. I actually got it used for 60 bucks off eBay. It's a little beat up and got some scratches on it, but hey, it works. See, I lurk and host every time you stream. That's cool. 8 viewers now, 10. Yes, we're getting there, guys. Good to see everybody. Oh, by the way, we passed up 1,000 subscribers. I think I missed telling everybody that. Yeah, YouTube is taking over a month to remonetize the channel. And there's no way to contact them that I'm aware of. So I've got 75 bucks in holdup that I can't take out because I haven't crossed the $100 threshold. All right. So yes, once we get to that point, I'll be putting ads back in my videos. I'm not going to spam them. Don't worry. I'm not doing, constant mid-roll ads or any of that crap. Just like a little thing at the bottom, maybe one on the side. We'll see, but not a whole lot. I don't want to, just overload you guys with that stuff. So these 2 blocks here are the distribution blocks. And I think, yes, make sure I grab the right bag. My desk is slowly getting cleaner. I'm still trying to find everything. Okay, so these little distribution blocks have 1 in and 5 out. And these can be used to go to multiple different cooling blocks, which I have in my extra bag of goodies and plugs and other things in here. So the idea here, and I'll show you the actual path of the loop so that this makes a little bit more sense. And that is the pump is at the bottom of the, let me change the color so you guys tell the difference here. And this one could be, heck, I don't know, pink. How's that? All right. So the pump pushes out the bottom here. It's going to go straight up like this. This is all flexible tubing, by the way. There's no rigid tubing in this, and I'll explain why. So out of the bottom up to this very top one. From here, it's going to pump out to 1 block, 2 blocks. So we have the CPU here. In fact, let me show you on the Pi real quick. Okay. So on the Pi here, we have the CPU, which is going to have 1 block. And right in here in the corner is the USB controller. That is also going to get a block if I can get it to fit. I think I can, but I'm going to have to make sure that the thermal adhesive that I have is not conductive, or we're going to short out some resistors and have to buy a new board and start over. But yes, so each one, they're not going to be in series. They'll be in parallel. So one tube out of the first block, or out of the distribution block to the cooling block, then back to here. Another tube from a different output from here to the controller back to the receiving block. Now after that, it'll come out of this. It'll come down into the radiator. Now either front, back, I'm not sure. I'll figure out which direction I want the hoses to sit so it looks better. That'll probably be the back one. Then out of the other side of the radiator up to the top up here in the reservoir. Now the reason I did it this way is so that the reservoir can kind of look active. Very nice. Destroyed my YouTube. To be honest, getting to this point has taken much longer than you think, and it was a long, hard road. I honestly didn't even think I was going to pass. I'll be honest, I never thought I was going to pass 20 subscribers, because I couldn't figure out how I was going to get my channel out. You know what I mean? But I ended up finding the drone stuff that really took off. The Nintendo Switch mod is at 27,000 views or something. That took off like crazy. I think that's mostly what did it. Oh, hey, Tim Hooglin is in here. Check it out. Very nice. You found me. So, Tim Hooglin, by the way, is the owner of TH3D Studios. He's supplied me with a number of fans, Easy ABL kit. I'm probably going to work on getting a CR10 from him here in a little bit. There's just some quality things that I'm not super thrilled about with the A9012. I mean, it is a pretty good printer, but he's had better luck with the Creality series. So I'm probably going to go with that, and he's going to work with me on getting one of those. It'll probably be a couple weeks, maybe. I'm not sure. I'll let you know, by the way, Tim. Oh, you're working on tickets. Very nice. I was subbed on both accounts. You got 2 accounts. Now, see, this is chat. This is what I like. I like coming in here, talking to people, being able to show off my next set of projects, having people give me feedback and stuff like that. That stuff is amazing. I love that. So Tim Hooglin has, I'll just say Tim. It's easier. Tim has been, I've shown him a couple things about this, but he hasn't seen a whole lot. So you may have to scroll back a little bit once it's finished so you can go back in time to see what all this is. But I really want this done by Christmas. I'm waiting on these freaking power supplies from China. That's the big holdup here. So yeah, so that's the loop format. Gravity should be able to, it's not going to pump a whole lot, and a future version of this, if I decide to do it, not sure how I'm going to do this yet, or if, I will probably reorient this thing, instead of sideways, it's going to sit flat, and I'll probably add in 2 more, let's say. Or I can even switch between them and see which one's active. I can always do that. But, and then I can use more than just one of the outputs on these distribution blocks. So yes, there is upgradability. I have figured out so far that as it sits, let me do that. Hide all of this. Yes, these are all the this is all that goes on it. You'd be surprised. That. So everything that's here, I've already sent through the slicer, and we're roughly at 33 hours. to print this much of the case. Now that's not the top, that's not the front, which is going to have an air filter on it, by the way, because I want everything in here to stay clean. And no full panel window piece. I'm sure that's going to take quite a while all within itself. Wow, we've really got a lot of people chatting in here. How's it? Sorts of boards here already. Same PM with what you're waiting on. Need to clean house on spare parts. Yes, I can do that. I'll have, actually, if you want to look real quick while I read comments and reply here. One is a 5-volt 3-amp AC to DC step down, and the other is a 12-volt 3-amp AC to DC step down. So I need, and they have to be small because they're going to be fitting inside of a 40mm tall cavity. This is where all the power supply and everything is going to be, is inside of here. All the wiring is going to be tucked in this, so that when I put the faceplate on, it's completely hidden, and all you see is the components that are up top. I can show you that for a second. Would totally build this first, do OE Octopi. Thank you, Swedish Assassins. Thank you so much. That means a lot, believe me. AC adapter for my Pi AC. You know what? I never did think about that. I'm not, to be honest, Tim, I don't know what all stuff you have. But it's good to know you do have that kind of stuff. The two boards are already on their way, so I'm going to let them come anyway. I'm not going to send them back. I'll keep them and all that. But I will work with you. I think I am going to probably take, I want to see what you have as far as boards and see what I can use. That'd be very helpful. Believe me, you've been a lot of help. I love that. Yeah. Wow, we're up to 50. Damn, we're doing really good on viewership and chatting here. It's like I need to shrink down the chat so it fits. Oh man, this is pretty cool. So yeah, while everyone's here, by the way, 16, geez. I think we're about to set a, no, we have set a record for most active viewers. This is fantastic. By the way, everybody, I'll be streaming Fallout 76 on Twitch under the same name. Link is in the description once I'm done with this video. So hope to see you guys there. Subscribe there if you'd like to. That's always open. Okay, so let me throw everything back on here. I have the... Okay. So the coolant that they sent, this was from modmymods.com. This was a, I think when I bought the kit, it was actually less than $130, which is where it's at now, $129.99. And for the life of me, I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name that I talked to, the owner. He gave me a lot of pointers as to what types of fluid I could use in the system that would be compatible and not destroy it. So they sent this. Completely unlabeled, totally clear. Hell, I don't even know how much is in here, what the volume is. It's not reactive, it just looks like water, basically. But this coolant is what they send out with it. It wasn't in the photo, but this is what I got. I decided that I wanted something green as my last name, of course. So I decided to go with Primo Chill after doing a lot of research, and I got Primo Chill PC Ice in UV green. This is, yeah, that's a lot. In fact, this is 32 ounces. This should do probably 4 or 5 complete system drain and refills just out of this bottle. That, heck yeah. And it's green, okay? It's UV green, which means the inside of the mounting panel is going to have LEDs that shine in, and it's going to light up everywhere that you can see this. That's in the reservoir, in the tubes, everything. You'll see it all. Great stuff. And has actually kept very well. I'm kind of surprised. Ugh. Running out of room in here. Whatever. Wow, got a lot more comments in here. You know, the step downs. The step downs are not on the website. That's my personal stock. Gotcha. I will get with you probably over the weekend. I've got a few things, and Monday I have my last final exam. So if I don't get you on the weekend, I'll probably have to get back with you on Tuesday. But yeah, there's some more stuff I'm curious about, so I'll let you know. Saw the live feed. Oh, you saw the live feed on TH3D. Nice. Followed on Twitch. Very nice. Fantastic. Hey, Istor. Hey, it's Tor 25. Very nice. Galvanic corrosion. Yes, exactly. To be honest, right off the top of my head, let me do not mix with other things, blah blah blah. I thought this said what it contained. No, okay. Can't use liquid utopia, blah blah blah. Okay, I may have to go to the website to figure out exactly what its content is. Yeah, I'm not sure. It might be a glycol base. Pretty sure. I don't know. I wish I had more information for you. Sorry. Yeah, there's the power supplies. I talked about that. Oh, something I have not done yet that I do have on order is an HDMI flat ribbon cable style to a panel mount on the back. So this will take HDMI out of here and allow it to be plugged into the back. I definitely don't have that wired in yet, or even in the diagram. I prefer to have the piece in my hand, so I know what that physical piece's dimensions are rather than going off something on paper. The reason I say that is that this Raspberry Pi model that's supplied by Tinkercad, if you'll notice here, why you do? Okay, scaling locked. This shape is sized for real components and cannot be scaled. While I understand, and the layout is pretty close, I'll give them that. The holes are correct. They have the right spacing. They have the right width. The board is the right thickness, top to bottom. I don't know about the audio display, HDMI power camera. I don't know if those ports are exactly right. I guess it really doesn't matter a whole lot except for maybe HDMI. But the Ethernet and 4 USB controller ports are not. They're actually off by about 1.5 millimeters or so. The spacing for them isn't quite right. So I had to do, which is why I have, you see here around the Ethernet controller, I have a very small margin. It's a 1 millimeter gap all the way around. You notice here, this gap, the hole in here is actually 1 millimeter gap around the outside of the physical components on the board that I have. But as far as this model, it's like 3 millimeters. It's not right. The holes are correct, but the model they supply is not. So if you're looking to get into Tinkercad and use this as a way to lay out, you can use it as far as general placement, use it for the holes in the mounting, but that's it. Don't rely on the front component positions to be accurate. And it's not even just like off by, you know, you put it in the hole and then as you were soldering, you maybe moved it just a hair as it was sitting there, tolerance. No, it's off by a lot. On the phone, okay. So the other thing is a front panel. This isn't going to be something where you're going to have fans on the front blowing in. There's really just no need for that. So I'm thinking about something where I can make a replaceable, even like a drop-in panel, let's say. So it drops in from the top, slides down over the face, and then maybe slide in top, or leave the top there, slide in the face, and then put on the side panel. So you can replace the front panel with whatever you want. Put a display on there, put a physical design like Raspberry Pi model, logo model like this, whatever. But make it replaceable so I don't have to reprint the entire case. But the filter, I definitely want to be in here because I want to keep everything clean. And a lot of PCs don't have that. They just have this cheap mesh screen, and that's supposed to do it. I think we can do a little bit better than that. So again, all the wiring stays underneath, everything stays hidden, and yeah, this is going to be pretty awesome. Oh, something I didn't explain. Let me remove this one. Yep. So the reason for this super weird, odd shaped thing, and I think I have, yes, it's on this one here. Okay. So the idea is that I want the entire system to be able to be assembled on your desk, or in a tub or whatever, but be assembled outside of the case. Once you have it assembled, it's easier to burp the system if you have a way to turn components upside down, move them around, make sure all the air can get up out of all the places, like say the radiator. Obviously, once it's in there and air gets to the top, it's a lot harder to push the air back out than it would be if you simply turned it upside down and let gravity pull it out. So being able to completely assemble it, test it, make sure it actually works outside of the case, get it all put together, and then be able to stick it in the case is a big thing. So if this already has a hose on it, obviously I can't get through, and I can't do this because I'd have to physically go through the printed mount like a ghost. You can't do that. So that's why I have a cutout here, and the cutout is a little shy on purpose because the hose here, the hose is a little flexible. So the idea is that you're going to fill everything up. In fact, let me go ahead and put this on. I need to print off one of those so I can actually show people. Oops. Yeah. I'm not going to tighten it all the way. I'll do that once I put it on. So obviously I can't get it in here. I'd have to all the way from the end and get it in. But then that also means I can't take it out without disconnecting the hose, because in order to get it in, I had to disconnect. So with this, you squeeze the hose a little bit, you slide it in to the circle, and then drop it down. It has 4 corners for resting point, and it has a little nipple here with a half millimeter tolerance in both directions. This sticks out 0.6 millimeter, which is how I had this little test one formatted. That way it can hold in, doesn't move around, doesn't shake. So yeah, that was specifically designed, and most of this will actually print with very little support. You'd be surprised. And these, they may look like they're separate. These are actually going to end up being a part of the case. This is all going to be built on. So I'm going to show you what this will look like. Close that drawer. Let me go ahead and group everything together and show you what it'll do. That. Is that real quick. Okay. Take a second here. And let's bring it up to that. So this is currently how it's going to sit. I know I've got a really strange gap right back here. I need to do something about that. That's just dumb. I might just expand this wall and make it thick. But that's going to print with supports because the way this prints is this way. So you're going to get supports inside of here, inside of this guy, just a couple inside of here, fan, the ports, and that's it. Everything else prints without supports. It's great. Now, if I were to try to print it the other way, everything under here would get support. It would easily take 70 hours. Okay, that would just be ridiculous. So, and mind you, this is without the top, without the front, and without the main face. Which I do have, by the way. So after the shows that I do, vendors tend to leave a bunch of stuff behind as trash. Either they don't need it, it costs too much to ship back, it's throwaway, it was swag that nobody wanted, whatever. So I found these guys. And these are little 1/8" Lexan sheets. I don't know what they were used for. They still have the plastic covering on them. And even the plastic covering isn't scratched. It was amazing. So these are almost the right size. These will be cut down to become the window. Now, in order to make this thing not just be wide open and give it a little bit more of a dark interior, one side of this panel that I cut for the right size for that door is going to get maybe 70% window tint, just to make it a little bit darker inside, so that when you light it up, it's more UV green that you see rather than ambient light getting in there and lighting up just every component that you can find. So that's really what I'm after. And the entire case, I think, is going to be printed in black. That way it's not super bright. I could print it in white, but then you'd be overridden with that UV light might make it look funny. It would kind of drown out the green. So I want the green against the black. That's what I want. So we're going to have a black printed case. All right. Guy gave me permission to load his video to post on my channel because my sister. Well, that's really nice, man. That's awesome. Make it thick? Right. Oh, yes, I should mention that too. The entire case, all sides and everything, are made in 3mm. The only place that it's extra thin. Is he doing this after a while? Come on, scroll faster. And you can ignore the second line. It's just the way that it worked out. But this is 2mm because of the depth from the front of the board, so that the ports on the back side were completely flush with the outside. That was how I did that intentionally. That's the only place that it's 2mm. Everything else is 3. I'm probably going to print this. Seeing as they're so thin, I can get away with 20% infill. There's no reason to make it 100%. I mean, this whole bottom side would be ridiculously. It would take so long to print; it's not even worth it. But overall, I think this only takes around 300 grams of filament. So not too bad. That's including the support material. Yes, you may. Okay. So yeah, I've got, like I said, I have a ton of work to put into this. What I'm undoing now, but there. So yeah, I have a number of things that I want to. I still need to figure out. I'm waiting for some more components to come in before I completely finalize the ports. Get this thing printed. Fortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you guys see this, I am not going to be making this for sale, unfortunately. The kit itself, the water cooling kit. In fact, let me bring that up on a web page here so you guys can see. If you're curious, you can look at it. You can get a hold of the guy. We're taking. Oh, sorry, streaming. What? Ooh, is the site down? Wow. Oh, well, there we go. Okay. Wow, I don't know what that was all about. So let me see if I can get. Huh. Oh wow, so something is really going on here. Site was working yesterday, but yeah, it's $129 for the entire kit. The Pi itself is, just call it 25 bucks. If you want to go with a Tinker board, you can also swap out for a Tinker board. It has the exact same footprint and layout for the ports, so that's swappable out. There's one more, and I can't think of its name, that you can also do. And then you have the power supply, wiring, printing. Shoot, just to make one of these would be stupidly expensive. It's not a practical thing. It's really just one of those because I can and why the hell not kind of things. It's really all it is. Yeah, I was really... Okay, wow, that's taking way too long. Try this again, maybe we can get in. Nope. Okay, here we go. That tab's on back. Alright, looks like it might load now. Oh. Oh. He might know about the problem, I don't know. If it's not fixed by tonight, I'll get a hold of him and let him know. So, can I get a bigger picture here? Yes, sort of. Okay. So you notice the bottle that they have, Alpha Cool CKC Cape, 250 milliliter. Okay. In fact, you know what? I want to write that down on my bottle. Get my pen here. I don't remember seeing that before. All right, so I'll write it down. Okay, that's good to know. So yes, it comes with pretty much everything you need. Probably get away with one fan, to be honest. Depends on how you want to set it up, but a push-pull configuration is going to be amazing. Now we have to go back to Zoom here. Ceramic pump and all that kind of stuff. Which is actually a really nice pump, but I think mine did not come with the gasket, by the way. And I got a hold of him, and he told me that he'd have to rob the gasket from another kit in order to send me one. And I told him, don't worry about it. Just give me the size of the ring and what material, and I can go out and buy one somewhere so that he can keep all of his kits complete. and he gave me the size, and it was right when I tested it when I got it. I went to put it in the other day, and it seemed to be a little big. Wasn't quite right, so it's kind of squashed in there. It looks like it seals, but I won't know until I actually put in some coolant in this and test it. Hopefully it works, but yeah, he'll work with you if you need it, but I told him don't worry about it. Yeah, so some of you have probably seen some of the other kits on YouTube about liquid cooling Raspberry Pis, or maybe just come across them at random. This one, I believe, was the one that actually got me started. We can watch. Oh, got two of them.
Water cooling of Raspberry Pi. Now some say it's very potent water cooling Raspberry Pi. I say, then why don't you click on this video? Let's get started.
Here.
5-way plugs.
Now he's got a few extra things here, like 120mm radiator. I don't see that there's going to be any real benefit in having a radiator that size compared to a, I want to say a 60mm fan radiator, which is all that comes in the kit. I think that's probably going to be more than enough, and I'm going to do a whole bunch of benchmarks on this. We're going to see some crazy drops. So let's get down to okay, so this is most of what I see, where the entire thing is just laid on the desk and people go, done. This is the final product for a lot of people. And you'll see he's only using one input and output for the distribution blocks. That's going to be the biggest bottleneck. If I have a second one, bring it up. If I have a second one on top of here and I do these two parallel, then I've got a little bit more area, a little bit more internal volume for the liquid to flow. It'll actually flow better. There won't be quite as much resistance and bottlenecking. There are a couple other blocks that come out at like a 45-degree angle. I may consider those if I decide to get more than one board and stack. And you notice he also doesn't have his reservoir filled up very far. Show the other side. Okay, so his fill looks to be right at the bottom of that side plug. I'm going to have mine be probably to the top of that plug, but I'm going to fill through the top. I want the pump, when the liquid's coming back into the reservoir, to kind of splash around and not create bubbles. So I want the inlet to be underwater, but I want to splash around and kind of have a visual effect to it, not just be completely stagnant. So I do want a little bit of a visual element without adding in, say, a flow indicator or something like that. Because what I found is they're all kind of tacky. I don't really like them. I guess I could probably design one. Maybe I could print the base or something and seal it up. I do have a family member that does CNC machining for a job. I could probably have him make me something. I'll just give him the layout for it. But that seems a little overkill. But this is basically what I usually see. And I wanted to take this and turn it into a complete desktop. This is what got me started. That's pretty nice, isn't it? And of course, the main reason is, why? Why would you ever want to do this? Okay. In fact, let me show you some of the others, because I do want to show you this. Oh. Okay. Wow, that didn't work. Should have been bigger than that. Okay, there we go. That'll work. So this is a multi-cluster all-in series, which you're not going to get as much benefit because the one at the end, each successive one is going to get less cooling, basically. If you have them in parallel, then they all get the same temperature fluid coming into them, and going out really doesn't matter. But this way is not an ideal setup. And you're going to have a lot of bottlenecking, especially in all these little transitions down here in each little block. This one's actually coming off. It didn't even stay stuck down. So he's got a sys cooling reservoir here, which has got a built-in bottom pump. I believe he said this was a 100mm radiator. Odd one. But again, see, this is what I'm saying. I see this all the time. Yes, when it comes into, so I want it, when it comes into the top, I want to kind of be able to see a little bit of splashing around. What I really wanted, there is a coolant that kind of looks like marble. It's kind of hard to describe, where it actually, it's not transparent, but it has particles in it that kind of move and flow, and you can see it in the tubes, in the reservoir, in the water blocks. The whole system is all animated. It's very cool looking. But unfortunately, it's not compatible with this system. So, unfortunately, I had to go without that. I really wanted that, but that's all right. I do like the idea of having the UV green, though. That was really cool. See what else have I found. There's this weird thing. Now this block, this is one of the old Raspberry Pis. This multi-piece cooling block piece that goes over the controller, the CPU, and some chip, I'm not actually sure what that is. I was actually hoping to find this. I could not find it anywhere, but as far as I'm aware, this does not fit current generation Pis because the layouts are a little different. Just by ever so much. More stuff to spend money on. Yes, exactly, right? See, the problem is once you have money, you spend it. That's the problem. You could add a piece of silver on a string, float it in front of the inlet. Yeah, just run a piece of string outside through the lid and screw it on and just have it dangle there in front of the outlet, right? Was that redneck flow indicator? That's pretty awesome. But so again, this is dyed pink, which, you know what, honestly, if I run out of green for some reason, or I want to do another Pi setup, a different style or whatever, I'll use pink. I think it looks pretty sweet, especially if it's UV reactive. That'd be awesome. Yes. Pink? Heck yeah. I have a pink, I have a green one over here and a pink one on this side. Why not, right? And silver will help the loop. Yes, you can add silver into some of them. I was reading on that, and depending on your system, it can be okay, and for others, it can actually do a lot of damage, cause buildup and other things. So I decided, not on this build. I may try as an experiment down the road, and I'll probably post a video on that if I ever get to it. But for now, I'm going to stay away from the silver additive. Save its backside. This one was pretty cool, and that uses the DNA helix reservoir tube that you see in some PC builds. Now this is a much smaller one. The ones that I've seen are a good 11 or 12 inches tall, and they have maybe 8 or 9 rounds as they go down. But same idea. What I liked here was the fact that he's got a super tiny micro pump. Look at this tiny ass thing. And it runs off the GPIO pins. That's crazy. That is an insanely small pump. I want to know where to get that, because I actually wanted to start another project, and that was going to be taking a Raspberry Pi 0W, or 0, I guess it really doesn't matter. I have a 0W, so and making the smallest water-cooled setup I could possibly come up with. And it would have to be with Raspberry Pi Zero. And use that as, we have a number of places, so when we leave on vacation, I want some way to be able to monitor the house, and we don't have a built-in camera system. We have security, but we don't have cameras. So use the Raspberry Pi, set it up in, I have so many strategic places I could put something you would never find it. There's just little cavities and top shelf pieces. Something that size you could hide with no problem. So to be able to do that, hook it up to Wi-Fi, and then be able to connect in and see what's going on from wherever we're at, while I'm on the road, when I'm down in Key West, anything. But that micro pump, yeah, I really want that. So if somebody knows where to get that, send me a link, PM me. I don't care. I want to know where to get that pump. That's awesome. I want that. So yes, keep going. There's some other, and some of these are really stupid too, and I'll show you what definitely, oh, here, what not to do. Yeah, that one's just an insane, I don't yet know. Okay, so I'm gonna let you look at this loop real quick. Let me, okay, I can probably even up a little bit more here. So take a look at this for just a second and tell me what you think is wrong with this setup. I'll give you a minute. Blazeby, do you have any idea what might be wrong with this? Once you see it, it's kind of obvious. I would never, ever set up something like this. This is the dumbest thing. Good job, man. You got it. That's exactly right. So there's no flow into these highly restricted sections of the cooling blocks. Now, even though they are separate, which if you remember me commenting about the previous way of setting it up in parallel, that makes sense. In fact, even in series would work okay, but not as well as parallel. These get nothing. So think about this. The best way I could describe this is a flute, the instrument. As you blow across... Oh my god. There's no good way to say this without making it sound sexual. If you blow across the hole, how much air... If you blow across the hole, most of the air is going over it, while much less of it is actually going into it. And that's the exact same thing that happens here. It blows past, but there's no way to direct the flow in and back out in any real capacity. Now, there probably will be some movement, minuscule. In fact, to evacuate everything, say, from one end all the way to the other, more than a day. I mean, it's going to be so slow, it might as well just stop, okay? Like I said, it's both inlets. So yes, this is not going to work. And the strange thing about this is that I don't think I can fit on that. I'll try. It's going to look real bad. This future setup here, and I don't know whether this date comes after or before that, has it set up correctly. Comes out of the pump at the bottom through separate tubes. Notice everything is going in parallel, not in series. Correct. into 1, 2, 3 blocks, even though he's got some more. So he's got a RAM chip on the back that he's also cooling. And then out in parallel, back into the receiver, through the radiator, and back into the top of the pump, into the top of the reservoir. That's set up correctly. So I don't know if this was before or after or what that other one was, but it looks like he put a lot of work into it. Yes, all of those jokes. I try to keep it clean, but man, I just couldn't. I did this stream on Twitch. Not this exact stream, but I went over this stuff on Twitch as well. And I didn't think about it before I said it. And I really got into blowing holes, and when you put your lips across it, yeah. Oh my God. Once I realized what I said, I had to pause the stream. Yeah. I'm full of those jokes, by the way. I'm really bad. So here's another one. It looks like a 1930s blender. I don't know what the hell this is, but this is a Raspberry Pi Zero. This is what I'm talking about, water cooling on a much, much smaller scale with that micro pump that was... it's up here somewhere. But yeah, why not? Right? Now the case for this would be ungodly small. All it has to do is boot up, have power, and have a camera slot available so you can hook up the camera. Done. That's all I need. And I have the camera. Oh, I can buy another one. They're cheap. But basically like this, but this is so ungodly huge. And why? School tomorrow, so I gotta come later. Tomorrow's fun. Hey man, thanks for stopping by. If you want, go ahead and open up my Twitch channel page. Your computer can lurk my stuff while I'm streaming here in a little bit. You don't even have to watch it. I am going to be joining Channel5 Gaming. They have been an absolutely awesome group of people, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I'm going to be leveling up character. I might even try to get closer to dropping a nuke. I finally saw my first nuke yesterday. I actually saw it drop on the map. First time. I've logged on to the server for like 5 days, and every time I get into a server, the nuke's already been dropped, and the zone's already irradiated. But I missed the actual explosion. I finally saw my first one. It's pretty awesome. So we'll go over a couple more of these here real quick, and then I'm going to end the stream. Yeah, then there's this guy. So he's got what looks like a heater coil, something off of a refrigerator. Some odd, I think that's a pump. Hell, I don't know. An old Raspberry Pi. I don't know what the hell he did in here. It was a good attempt. I mean, he fit it in a small area, so I'll give him that. Here's one with blue, which I thought about blue, but I don't know. Green just seemed to be more like mean green machine. You know what I mean? Is this the guy? No. There was one guy that took Raspberry Pi and put it in a full-size, like 26-inch tall, empty PC desktop tower. Just screwed it right into the middle, ran a wire up, ran his HDMI out the back, and said, "Ta-da! You know, biggest biggest Raspberry Pi case ever." I really don't understand people that do that. So, yeah, I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be talking about this case once I get it done. And it will be done, I promise. What else do we got here? This. Raspberry... Oh my God. Raspberry Pi liquid cooling. It's got a freaking juice box on his Raspberry. Now I know it's a joke. Okay, I get that. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's a good one. There are these, which I will never do. I have done mineral oil PCs before. Not a fan. But yeah, they work. Problem is, you definitely don't want to knock it over. If you have it in a glass aquarium, don't break it. And definitely don't fill a 35-gallon tank with mineral oil and then put in a computer and hope for the best. Especially trying to move it. Don't move it. Who was that? Linus Tech Tips, another YouTube channel on here. Linus did a mineral oil PC build. Oh, it was pretty cool looking. I'll give him that. It was good looking, but you definitely can't clean the components up. If you take one out, you're not getting all that back off. It's soaked in. It's in every little crack. You'll never be able to clean it. So once something goes in, that's it. You could take it out and, you know, store it in a plastic tub for the rest of its life, but you'll never be able to put it inside of a dry case again. Things to think about, but it's more of the look of, hey, look, my electronics are underwater. Since mineral oil is non-conductive, you can do that. But then again, the cleanup, like I said, is going to be horrendous. Whoa, lots of messages here. Hello. Let me, yes, I have your link held for review. I hold links until I see them. All right, let me go ahead and approve that one. Found a micro ping. Yeah, you know what? I think that actually is it. Free front and back outlet. Wow. I think it's the 3.2 millimeter barb that I. Dude, that is really cool. You are awesome, man. Thank you. Dude, that's fantastic. Oh, an eBay link for it. Seriously? Oh, that's the that's the DNA cylinder. That's cool. Dude, you are awesome. Thank you, both of you. That's fantastic. Yeah, I'm gonna look actually into buying that pump tonight, I think. Find out exactly how much it is. I can't. My GBP conversion is really bad. GBP to SD. What was the 89? No, that doesn't sound right. $113 for a little pump? No, that isn't right. Let me search for this on here. Yeah, $113. Why? No, I bet I can find it. Yeah, no kidding, right? Your Google foo is strong. Yes, yes it is. Yes, that's true. I completely forgot about being able to do that. God damn, thanks for reminding me. Damn, all right. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I'll bet you I can find it cheaper somewhere else. But since I have the model number now, I can go looking. That's awesome. So yes, I've got that bookmarked. I will check that out a little bit later. Let's go look at just a couple more things on here. And then I'm going to hop off, and hopefully I will see you guys over on the Twitch channel, and I'll be joining Channel 5 Gaming over there. Damn it. Of course, again, a joke. Liquid-cooled Raspberry Pi, right? With just a water bottle. Would never work, but it's interesting to see. Well, that's not a Raspberry Pi. What the hell is that? Direct water cooling an FPG. Oh, an FPGA die. Okay. Wouldn't be very effective. I can't imagine. That's awfully thin. I don't know where the liquid's going to go between those, but all right. That's kind of stupid. Well, that's not a Raspberry Pi. That's cooling a laptop. Oh my god. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I don't like people that just do this weird, they screwed something on, they zip tied it, and they say, look at this awesome thing I created. It's different, it's unique, I get it, but could you at least have put a little more work into it? You know what I mean? Maybe it's just me. I probably shouldn't be so hard on them. Load. There we go. Micro pump. Where's? I can probably decode it from that, so I'll take a look. Yeah, that is just way too goddamn expensive for something that size. That's just a freaking ripoff. Of course, then you have these little things. Can I even blow this up? Whoops. So it looks to be a little tiny radiator. It's a simple in and out single loop out here with a pump on this side. So here's the outlet. Here's the pump motor. This is the radiator. So it comes in, starts up a loop, comes down the loop, into the pump, and back out. Or actually, it might even go this way. So it pulls in, centrifugal force goes out this way, and then comes down. Okay. And then through a single with a fan that you can, but looks, this is cut out so you can mount it next to that. That's pretty cool. Man, I gotta do a lot of research, man. See, now this is what makes me want to do little projects everywhere. Build out a Lego, yes, of course. Oh, here's a good view. Block offset. They sell little blocks at Micro Center, so even if I just find this part, that's fine. Okay. Well, it looks like that's probably about it. I mean, they have some other... Yeah, time clock. It's not really a case as such. But I'm doing more like an actual... Make the whole thing out of acrylic. Now, there's an idea. Crap. All right. Is this close? Similar idea-ish. Wall-mounted, water-cooled and wall-mounted Xbox 360. Granted, that does look pretty sweet. I'll give him that. He covered the hard drive and everything here with vinyl stick-on stretch carbon fiber wrap. Okay, doesn't look terrible. I mean, covering the hard drive and the disk drive and the hard drive looks kind of stupid, but he's onto something, I think. Yeah, so other than doing like weird things like cooling racks, these are all GPUs. Oh, no kidding. I didn't see this. Okay, so look. Oh, this is that one guy. Water-cooled Raspberry Pi build. The one guy that I mentioned, this image here, is this thing. He just did a generic sketch up here. But, okay, well, yeah, see, what I'm doing is going to be a little bit different. But, you know what? Hopefully you guys like it. Again, hopefully by Christmas, Tim Hoogland, I don't know if you're still watching or not. If not, that's cool. But I will be getting a hold of you for some more power boards and some other things. I do have some other questions for you as well to see what you have as far as inventory. I'll also get back to you on the printer and when and if I can do that soon or not. Tyler West, Blaze B, you guys have been absolutely awesome. Thank you for the links. It probably would have taken me forever to find those, and I'm a busy guy, so I do thank you a lot. Hopefully I will see you guys over on the Twitch channel. You can check out the link to my Twitch channel below in the description. Yeah, and while you're at it, check out Channel5 Gaming. They are an awesome bunch of guys. They are really fun to play with. Hopefully I will see you guys there. So I'll leave this open here for a minute. If you guys have any other questions for me, feel free to ask me right now. And yeah, here in a couple minutes, I'll close the stream and head on over to Twitch. So question session is open if you have any. Yeah, so I'll just keep checking back here every so often, so if you guys have questions, I'll answer. That's one downside about this fan. Sounds like crap. I need to replace it. Okay. All right, so I may have one person watching, I'm not sure, but if you are watching, you'll get to see this real quick. I do have an upcoming video, and I'm going to be talking about something that I think you guys are going to find very, very helpful, especially if you use dusters. You know, the kind with this. You can refill these with standard air and not have to buy new ones. Completely refillable. You get to keep the top and everything. I have one up here that I just went through. I completely emptied it. I've used it now for about a week or so. And we are completely empty, right? Nothing left in it. And I'm going to refill this with air from a compressor and then slap the top back on and have a duster and do it again. It is much easier and much cheaper than you think. And I will explain everything on the cheap way to get that done. So I'm not going to give away too much here. I'm not going to show you what 2 extra parts you'll need. Well, maybe 3, kind of depends on how you want to do this. And there are also a way to be able to add in, say you want to add in an oil of some kind. Maybe you want a spray lubricant that comes in a bottle, a liquid bottle, but you want to put it in here and be able to spray it instead. You can also do that, and we'll go over that most likely here in a couple weeks. But I want to get the video finished and made, and you guys are really going to like that. So that's a quick little tidbit of what's coming up, what to look for. Again, thank you for everybody passing up 1,000 subscribers. We are at 1,000 and, what is it? 1,030 something, maybe? I don't even remember. At least 1,030 now. So yes, once YouTube remonetizes the channel, I'll be putting some ads back on. I'll try to keep it to a minimum, but being able to get some revenue from this to be able to do other projects and buy some more stuff that I can use to make videos, stuff like that, we'll get back into the swing of things. So thank you everybody for stopping by. Haven't had anybody ask me any questions here in a couple minutes, so I'm going to end the stream. Pop on over to Twitch, go ahead and check out that link in the description below, and I will see all of you later. Streaming here, it's 4 o'clock now, probably by 4:20 or so, I should be up and streaming. See you guys then. Thank you everybody for stopping by. Have a good one, guys.